Hey everybody, welcome to Slow City Church online, at home, wherever you are. Really excited to wrap up our series entitled Culture today. But before we do, I have a few important announcements for you. Number one is this: groups at home begin in the first 2 weeks of September, and you do not want to miss out on an opportunity to gather together in living rooms, eat good food, tell great stories, encourage one another, pray with one another. I don't know your group experience in the past, but I promise you, or I'm encouraging you, it's going to be great. It's going to be great, and I want you to check it out. Make sure you go to slowcity.church/groups. Check out all the opportunities, register today. You can also do that on the Slow City mobile app. Hit the groups tab, sign up. It's going to be incredible. In just a few weeks, we get to celebrate Slow City Church turning 2 years old. It's been a crazy journey for our church to be 6 months in person, 6 months online, and now over a year gathering together outside, and we can't wait to celebrate all that God's done in and through us on the parking lot at 1150 Laurel Lane, September 12th at 10:30 a.m. We've got taco trucks, we have inflatables, we have popsicles on the patio, we've got great stories to tell, and we invite you and everybody you know to gather with us on the parking lot that Sunday morning. It's going to be epic. Make sure you're there. If you are new to Slow City, Start Here Lunch is for you. The next Start Here Lunch is on Sunday, September 19th at 12:30 p.m. It's a great way to connect with new people, hear from the staff, eat free, great food, to learn about the mission, vision, direction of the church, and have an opportunity to ask questions. Make sure you sign up through the online mobile app at the Start Here Lunch tab or through the website, slowcity.church/events. Before we jump in, I just want to say thank you for your generosity. Your generosity, your open-handedness to say, God, we trust you with our finances. We want to make a difference through our generosity. It is making a real difference and bringing hope to everyone. In the past 2 weeks, we've raised over $6,000 for our Haiti and Afghanistan relief. And you have just responded to the need in an amazing way. Your reoccurring tithes, offering, gifts make a difference inside the walls of our church for things like kids ministry, middle school, college, young adult, 55 and up, donuts, coffee, the ways that we bless our city outside the walls of the church. It's because of our collective generosity. You can give at slowcity.church/give. You can give through the app, or you can give by dropping a check to 1150 Laurel Lane, Suite 120. We get to wrap up our culture series together today. I am so glad that you are here worshiping with us. We hope you enjoy the rest of the service. Hey everybody, and welcome to Slow City Church at home, wherever you are. My name is Brent. I'm humbled to be one of the pastors here, and I just love that we get to be a collection of people that help one another find and follow Jesus, to be a place where everyone is welcome, where change is possible, where there is hope for everyone. It doesn't matter if you're buttoned up, tatted up, jacked up, uptight, or somewhere in between. This is a place, a safe place where you can come to be seen, known, loved, and that we can come and find Jesus together. I'm really excited that school is back. School is having. Shout out to the teachers who are listening. There is a lot happening in our midst right now as a church, and still there are a lot of unknowns ahead. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a lot of unknowns ahead. I was in a conversation recently with a good friend, and this friend asked, what's the vision for the next season of Slow City Church? What's the hope? Like, what's around the corner for us? And I don't know about you, but I've been drawn to this powerful psalm, Psalm 119 that David writes. And David writes this. He says, "Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path." For me personally, and for our church, I have been drawn to that psalm. See, the vision for our church is nothing to necessarily write a book about or to post about, but I feel like this next season for our church is one of trust, of trusting God for just enough light to take the next step, of trusting God for direction to make it through whatever is around the corner for you and I personally and for our church and that we trust him, and we come to him, and we're faithful, he takes care of us. I'm challenging us to a season of radical trust. But trust is hard, isn't it? You and I live in a culture, a time and a place where and when it is increasingly hard to trust. It seems like there's a lot of difficulty in trusting people and systems. The definition of the word trust is this: the reliability, truth, ability, or strength of someone or something. It seems increasingly hard to find someone or something or some organization or some system or some philosophy or some process that is reliable, able, honest, strong, sure, steady. It's hard to trust, isn't it? I read an article this past week that shared Pew Research revealing that declining trust of Americans in Americans is overwhelming. We've grown increasingly suspicious of the government at the local, state, federal levels. There are stats showing distrust in the media, the other side, elections, institutions, vaccinations. Have you noticed that? Systems, processes. There's increasing mistrust in public health, the FDA, the IRS, even the ACT and the SAT. Suspicion towards the stock market, school boards, churches, principals, pastors, coaches, teachers, police officers, God, Jesus, the Bible, faith in general, and just people. There is this increasing mistrust of people. We have trust issues, don't we? We have trust issues. I mean, culturally, not you, not me. I mean, them. We have trust issues. Do you have trust issues? And you know this. Mistrust does not make itself. Suspicion doesn't just come out of nowhere, does it? Many people, like you and me, including you and me, have been taken advantage of. We've put our trust someplace, and we've been lied to. We've been used, abused, belittled, devalued, taken from, ignored. We've been left. We said, I trust you, and then we have been, felt unseen or unheard. And it's led a majority of people in our culture to a place of mistrust and suspicion. David Brooks is a writer for the New York Times, and he writes this: levels of trust in this country, in our culture, in our institutions, in our politics, and in one another are in precipitous decline. And when social trust collapses, nations fail. Hear that. When trust collapses, things fall apart. Nations fail. Relationships crumble. Self-worth falls out from under us. Friendships fracture. PETRARCH once said, suspicion is the cancer of friendship. Someone else once said, a heart once poisoned by suspicion has no longer room for love. Suspicion kills relationships. Mistrust fractures friendships. We see that mistrust and not trusting other things actually kills connection. And this is where you and I are. Have you found yourself saying, I just don't trust that. I just don't trust that person or that thing or that policy or that way or that encouragement. I just don't trust them or it. But we all trust something, right? I mean, you trust someone, right? You trust something. Who do you trust? What do you trust? What's the thing that you count as most reliable, honest, able, steady, sure, and true? What is the thing in your life that you find most trustworthy? If you go wherever you are right now, if you go back to your computer or your phone and you go to your Google browser, your Chrome browser, and you type these words in, the only person I can trust is, it autocorrects, it autofills the remainder, is me. You can test me on that. You can put in, the only thing I can trust is, and it autocorrects and it autofills to, is me. See, because culturally, I would argue that most of us would say, I can only trust myself. I'm the only person I can trust. That's honestly a value, a practice, a norm to say, I trust me, I trust my stuff, I trust the things that I have and the things that I control. You find that. The things that we trust in are me, mine, and what I have, my pride, my possessions, my people, my property, my political party. Too soon? Too soon on that? Sorry. We trust ours. We trust me, and we trust mine. Today, I don't know if you can tell, but we are talking about trust. And we've been in this series on culture and talking about culture and the cultural way that Jesus came to establish. And I have to tell you, it was not the way of trusting me and my pride and my possessions and my property and just my people, but it was a way of deep trust in God. See, Jesus steps onto the scene and he comes to bring a right view of God for you and for me and to reestablish or to establish trust with God for maybe the first times, to call and to challenge and to invite you and I to a culture of letting go. A culture that says, let go and cling to the one who can be fully trusted. So today, we're going to read an interaction with Jesus, listen to what Jesus says, make a few observations, and ask some questions, be encouraged in this cultural way of Jesus that says, let go. Now, here's the scene. Jesus is moving about. He's meeting new people right where they are. He is calling people to put aside things that are killing them, that are like sucking the life out of them. And he's bringing life to people caught in addiction, people who are stuck on themselves, and people are flocking to Jesus. And a man walks up to Jesus with a question. And in this interaction with Jesus, in this conversation with Jesus, we're actually going to see the culture that says, let go, by an example of a man who can't let go. Who can't let go of his pride, who can't let go of his position, who can't let go of his property, his possessions. He can't let go. We're going to see this cultural move, this shift to let go by looking at an example of a man who can't. Let's read it together. Matthew chapter 19 says this. A man came up to Jesus and asked, "Teacher, what good thing must I do to get eternal life?" "Why do you ask me what is good?" Jesus replied. "There's only one who is good. If you want to enter life, keep the commandments." "Which ones?" he inquired. Jesus replied, "You shall not murder, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not steal, you shall not give false testimony, honor your father and your mother, and love your neighbor as yourself." "Teacher, what good thing must I do to get eternal life?" Every single night in my home, we sit around the dinner table. Most nights when we're not like crazy busy or hanging out with other people, every night in my home around the dinner table, Jenna and I get asked a particular question by a particular child. And it's all oriented around getting dessert. You may know this question. Here's the question. What do I have to do to get dessert? What do I have to eat? How much do I have to eat? What good or terrible thing on my plate do I have to eat in order for me to get the cookie? In order for me to get the ice cream? In order for me to earn my place at the table, at the dessert table? And I have to tell you, it is every single night. It was last night. It was the night before. My youngest, Isla Grace, sweet pea princess, asks this question and argues with me every single night saying, did I eat enough chicken? Dad, did I do enough? Did I eat enough vegetables to get dessert? And she says, Dad, what do I have to do? Is it enough now? And she'll take a little nibble. Is it enough now? Okay, now. And the other night, I just had to play with her, and she lost her mind when I said, babe, you have to eat all the chicken that Mom cooked for you to be able to get the cookie. She melted, and I felt really bad, but like I was trying to say, like, there's nothing you can do to earn dessert, right? And it was painful for her. This guy comes up to Jesus. And he's pretty self-assured, and he has this question burning in his mind. What do I have to do to get the thing that I want? What do I have to consume? What do I have to buy? What do I have to accomplish in order to earn eternal life? In order to get and acquire and possess heaven, peace, fulfillment of life for every eternity. And I love how Jesus responds. And it may seem odd to us how it's worded, but he says, "Why do you ask me what is good? There is only one who is good." Here's what Jesus is saying here. Listen up. He says, there's not enough good things you can do to earn the thing that you are looking for. There's not enough that you can consume, not enough that you can acquire, not enough stars on your attendance chart to get you to a place where you can earn eternal life, where you can get or earn heaven, where you can get dessert. There's not enough you can eat, not enough you can do, not enough good things, because there is only one who is good, and that is God. But then Jesus rolls on, and Jesus says, if you want to enter eternal life, look back, it says, keep the commandments. Keep the commandments. He asks, well, which commandments? Because I want to know what exactly I have to do, what exactly I have to accomplish to get the thing that I want. And he says, well, don't go the way of the thief. Don't take, don't break, don't bury, don't steal, don't lie. Honor your parents and bring life and hope to everyone. Love your neighbor as yourself. And he responds, I've done it. Look what he says in verse 20. He says, all these commands I have kept. What do I still lack? And then Jesus speaks right to the heart of what he lacks, of what's missing. Check this out. All these things I have kept. What do I still lack? Jesus answered, if you want to be perfect, other translations say, if you want to be complete, if you want to be whole, go, sell your possessions and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. Then come follow me. Verse 22, when the young man heard this, he went away sad because he had great wealth. Jesus says, if you want to be whole, if you want to be complete, if you want to be perfect, if you think you've done everything, I've got real hope for you, and it's found in these two things, in letting go. Let go and follow me. Jesus says, let go of it all and then come and follow me. Let go. You remember that old Netflix show about sparking joy? It was called Tidying Up with Marie Kondo. You remember this? It was this popular Netflix show for about a minute, and the premise was this. Go into your closet, go into your house, and pull everything out. And then let go of the stuff that killed your joy. That old sweater, those crusty socks, those old tennis shoes, those jeans, that jacket, those glasses, all the clutter that clutters your house. Go in and pull it all out and then let go of the thing that is actually killing your joy. See, Jesus lays out this challenge to a man who seems like he has everything. He knows the law. He's saying that he's done almost everything. And he lays out this challenge and he says, yeah, but I want you to let go. One of the things I found interesting in the list of commands that Jesus laid out was that there was one glaring omission. The first command, the first of the 10 commandments, which is love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and worship no other God but the Lord, but God. And Jesus says, have you keep all the commands? What commands? Well, all these things about not stealing, killing, lying, and then Jesus says, this man says, well, I've done all these things. And then Jesus leans in and he says, well, go and let go of everything that you have. Go and sell everything that you have. Go and empty out your heart of all the clutter. Let go of all those things and then follow me. Trust me above your possessions. Trust me above your stuff. Trust me above your property. Trust me above your pride. Trust me with all of these things. He says, sell your possessions, sell everything, and give it away to those in need. And display a love and a worship and a trust, a full radical trust in God. And then, and only then, will you have, not earn treasure in heaven. He says, then will you have, you will receive treasure in heaven. There's nothing you can do to earn this. But when you get this, when you let go and fully trust God with everything and worship Him above all the other things, then you will just have, you will receive, you will have it deep within you, this storehouse of joy, this treasure in heaven and life. And Jesus says, what's missing in your life is not doing more good things. It's not being bigger and being more proud. He says if you want to be perfect, if you want to be complete, that word also means mature. What you lack is the ability to let go, is the ability to give everything, is the ability to take your whole heart and trust me with it. I'm most true. I'm most sure. I'm most able. I'm most reliable. I'm most strong. I am enough. Will you trust me? Will you let go? Jesus says, if you want to find real life, if you want to have treasure in heaven, you let go and then you come follow me. Can I ask you, invasive question, what is cluttering your life right now? What are the things that you trust in that you're desperately clinging to that are so comfortable but might be keeping you from real joy, real life, real trust in God? What if Jesus looked you eye to eye and said, man, you're doing a great job, but you're missing one thing? Will you let go? What would your response be? Let go of the need to be right. Could you let it go? Let go of the outcomes. Could you let it go? Let go of the comparison. Let go of the desperate pursuit to just get more and have more at all costs. Let go of the things. Let go of all the bells and whistles and the measurables and the success metrics that you're trusting to give you value and worth and identity. Let go of the past and the pride and the pain and the possessions, your stuff. Let go. Would you sell everything just to bless other people? Then you'll find something, Jesus says. Would you let go? Maybe Jesus today is asking you to let go. He says, then you'll have treasure in heaven. Jesus says, do this, and then come and follow me. Jesus invites this man to take on a new way, a new culture, and that meant letting go of all the temporary trusts and fully trusting in God. It would mean trusting in Jesus with his time, with his talents, with his stuff, probably with some of his retirement. And he invites you and I to do the same, to pull out all the things and to look at all of our life and to say, what are the things that are taking me away from fully trusting God? And then he says, will you let go so that you can actually follow me? But did you notice the passage? Verse 22 says this, but when the young man heard this, he went away sad because he had great wealth. When he heard Jesus say this, it cut to the core. He was grieved. He was gutted. He was messed up, and he walked away sad. Why? Because he had great wealth? Because he just had a lot of money? He had a lot of things? What does money have to do with anything? We've already talked about it. He had so much in his hands. He had so much that he trusted in, that he was holding on to, his wealth, his ways. His hands were so tied up and so full that he was unable to grasp anything above him. He was unable to grasp onto the heart of God and what Jesus was actually inviting to, because he was in shackles. He was holding onto all these things so tightly this was his security. These are the things that he could control. These are the things that he could manipulate. And to trust Jesus meant to let them go. And he was unable to let go. I was reading a story earlier this week about a group of friends who went up to the Sierras for a weekend of bouldering and rock climbing, and they were up in the mountains, and there were some experienced climbers with the bunch and a few newbies, like a few rookies who were just climbing for the first time. And one of the guys who was brand new, up on the first time, got all the ropes together, got all harnessed up, and his clips and like all these things, and he was moving up the wall pretty well. You know, he's got the guy down below, a belayer or something like that. You know, and he's got the guy who's holding him with the rope, and he's climbing up pretty well. And about 15 to 20 feet from the top where he would be finished, he kind of looks around and notices his circumstances. And the nerves start to hit him. The height starts to get to him. He starts to feel it in his gut and in his heart, and in his mind starts racing of like, oh my, I'm pretty high. And he does something. He holds on to the wall even tighter. He starts grasping onto the wall for control. And he's holding on with all of his strength, and he is just burning out. He's pulled in tight, and his legs are in tight, and he's starting to shake and he's starting to hyperventilate. He's starting to panic. Just then, an experienced climber makes it up the wall and comes beside him. And here's what the other climbers are telling him. Listen to this. They say, just let go and fall back. Let the ropes do their work. Just take a deep breath, let go, fall back, let the ropes do their work, because there's someone below you. There is something around you that is holding you that will not let you fall. And when you just trust the ropes, when you just let go, I know it seems insane to let go of this thing because this is all you've got right now. This is all you can see, but let go, fall back into the ropes. It is your only hope. You can't just hold on here. You're going to burn out. Your strength is going to fail. Your security, the rocks could slip. Like clip in, fall back into the ropes and trust. And I just thought that was a powerful picture. Maybe the healthiest thing you and I can do is let go of the thing that we are just clinging to. Maybe the best thing for our life might be letting go of the thing that we're like just clamoring for, so that we can be led up by the ropes of something that's holding us, so that we could come and follow the way of experienced climbers who have gone, so that we could trust and follow Jesus. I don't know about you, but I don't want to miss this. I don't want to miss this truth, that the way to experience life and bless others is not in holding on for dear life to all of my things, but is in letting go and living open-handedly. Following Jesus and saying, Jesus, I just want my hands open to receive treasures in heaven, receive the ability to bless other people, to receive this way of Jesus. I don't want to miss out on joy and on real peace and on wholeness and on a maturing faith that leads me on an adventure of trusting God and seeing people find peace and restoration for their relationships and their view of self and their marriages. I don't want to miss out because I have nice things. I don't want to miss out on this life because I think my way is the best way and I'll just hang on to it, or because I'm relying on my own strength to save me. I don't want to be that dad, that friend, that pastor that's so distracted by all the bells and whistles that this world has to offer that I miss Jesus because I'm too consumed with just holding on to what I have. And Jesus says, sell everything. Give it to other people. Follow after me. I don't know about you, but I want my hands open wide. I want to lean back into the goodness of God, and I want to trust. And if it means getting rid of everything, then may I give up everything to follow Jesus. Listen, I know that trust is hard. I know that trust has been wounded in you. I know that maybe you've trusted someone that has hurt you. I know that trust can be hard, especially when there's so much unknown ahead. Especially when there's so much baggage behind. I love what Corrie ten Boom says. She says, never be afraid to trust an unknown future to a known God. God has made himself known. God has made himself known as the unchanging one, as the stable one, as the faithful one. Hebrews 13:8 says, Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Who we read about in the Gospels is who is present and able and willing to walk with you today. And we see that he can be trusted in this way of letting go, and following Jesus proves faithful, proves good. We see the first followers of Jesus pick up this way of letting go and following after him. We see this way of deep trust in people like Peter and Philip and Stephen and Paul and Lydia and James. They sell everything and they give their time, their talents, their energy. They open up their homes. They leave careers. They're traveling around the world, the known world, to meet people, to pray with people, to feed hungry people, to give clean water to people, to follow the way of Jesus. And the sick are healed. The naked are clothed. The desperate find hope. The homeless find a home. And they discover this wholeness to their life, this completeness to their life, this purpose to their life as they run after Jesus with open hands that say, I'm letting go and I'm following you. And can I tell you guys, man, we are still seeing this culture play out today in our midst. The way of letting go and trusting God happening today. Last week, a really special lady in our church was talking to a friend who'd recently moved into the area due to a really difficult divorce and some other really difficult circumstances in her extended family. And she had fallen on some really hard financial times. And in the midst of the conversation with this lady from our church, my friend learned that this individual and her kids had been living in her car with her two young boys. And in this conversation, the way of Jesus just hit my friend. And she said, "That's not okay. It's not okay that your boys are living in your car with you. It's not okay that you can't find any place to stay. It's not okay that you're living on the streets. It's not okay." And she says, "You're moving in with us. You're moving in with us while we help you find a more permanent place to live." And would this mean, would opening up her home to bring in a single mom with two kids, would it mean letting go of some comfort? Absolutely. Would it mean letting go of some financial cushion and some freedoms? Absolutely. Would it mean letting go of family plans and normal nights and what they've been used to? Absolutely. Would it mean giving of themselves, their time, their energy, their mental and emotional energy? Yes, it absolutely would. But this is the way that Jesus leads us. The way of letting go. The way of opening up our hands to trust God, to bless other people, to follow the way of Jesus. When we see others in distress, to put our money actually where our mouth is and worshiping Him more than our stuff and our possessions, emptying ourselves of our pride for other people, to love God and to love others every single day, not just on Sunday for an hour where we sing about Him with our lips, but we worship Him 24/7, wherever we are, our work, our marriage, our relationships, our neighborhood, our school, our campus, whatever, wherever. We say, "I'm letting go and I'm trusting in you." This is the culture of Jesus that says, let go so that you can really come follow me fully. What's a step you can take? What is the thing that you're holding on to so tightly that you might just need to let go so that you can let God into your heart, let God into your mind, and direct your next steps? It might be letting go of some past pain, some past regrets, some past mistakes that you've made that have just cluttered your mind, your heart. And Jesus is knocking on the door of your heart saying, "Would you just trust me? Would you let me take that stain, those sins, those regrets, and would you see that I paid for them on the cross? Would you let go and let me in? Would you let go of maybe your ego or your status or your stuff? And would you let go and let me use your position or your influence to just help other people, bless other people? Would you worship me with every single part of you? Not a part of your heart, not a part of your mind, not a part of your week, but your whole heart." I love what Jeremiah writes. He says, "You'll seek me and you will find me when you seek me with your whole heart." When you give me your whole heart, your whole life, you'll find me and you'll find life. You'll find life to the full. You'll find joy. What's your next step to live out, to take on, to carry on this culture of letting go? May you have the courage, may I have the courage to be that person, to be that follower of Jesus that trusts Him and sees Him do what only He can do in my life.